a sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I found, was blind, but now I see.
About 3 years ago, through the veterans, I got a home loan, and I was able to go out to Shaler and get a home. In the process of that, there was an issue about flood insurance, and I wasn't informed of that until a week before the closing, that I needed flood insurance. And then, like a year later, we did have a flood eventually, and so the flood insurance got raised higher, and they priced us right out of our home. We had nowhere to go. We didn't know where we were going to live.
Patrick has balance and stability issues. One of the reasons he needs assistance when he walks is that he can fall at any time. My landlord was actually thinking about selling, and I knew that if we were going to be able to find a place with safety features for Patrick, we were going to have to start before there was any kind of deadline. It really very quickly was apparent that it was going to be hard to find someplace.
I come from literally nothing. Before I was adopted, I was in 6 foster homes. Then I was adopted. Then I was in 4 more foster homes. Then I was homeless. Then I didn't have school. And I come from like all this brokenness essentially. And to be broken for so long, one might think that, you know, Humpty Dumpty really can't be put back together again.
In 1957, Action Housing was formed by David Lawrence and Richard King Mellon. They recognized that the city couldn't limit its renaissance to downtown and needed to include housing and neighborhood development as part of that overall mission. That work that they started 60 years ago is very much at the heart of what Action Housing is doing today.
At this point, I was getting ready to age out of foster care. What happens next? A few of the options were homeless shelters, possibly staying with friends. You know, the last thing I want to know is that I'm 21, I have no other options, so you can go and apply for a homeless shelter. There were no additional services.
We were looking for housing, but the rent, everything was so high. The cheapest I found we could get was $1,200 a month, and then we found this place, and it was a godsend.
You know, when we're in the apartment, it's very easy to move around. It's very easy to care for Patrick because there are safety features. You walk out the door to hallways that are really wide. From there, it's a neighborhood where I can walk. It's a great artery.
Affordable housing for people. If it's done right, it works. I think it works.
Feels good to be here.
Action Housing didn't just give me an apartment, it gave me a program which was called MyPlace. We did a lot of classes on, you know, how to manage your time, workshops on how to better myself as an independent person, financial classes which were extremely helpful. Recently I graduated from Duquesne. I was 0.1 away from graduating with cum laude, which was cool. Society says that only 3% of people in my position will actually go to college and graduate. I was one of the 3%, and my hope, and I think my duty, is to tell other kids that you're not a part of the 3%. You're a part of the 5% that we didn't know about. You're part of the 20% that has never been. I was greater than that because someone told me I can, and now my hope, and I think my job, is to let people know that they can, and they will.
We believe that stable housing provides not only a foundation for building independent lives, but also unlocks the opportunity to flourish. You've just met 5 of the 2,800 people that Action Housing currently serves, and each one has a story. By 2027, we hope to have an additional 1,000 stories to tell.